If you have been recently diagnosed with IBS, this video is for you, and these are the top 5 companies I recommend checking out for IBS. Welcome back to Gut Instincts. My name is Julia Warder. I talk about all things gut health, and today I wanted to talk about 5 of my favorite companies for IBS. I've had IBS for 10 years, and I know all of the struggles that come along with it. Hopefully this video is helpful for you, but in the meantime, if you could please just like and subscribe to my channel, it would mean the world to me. But let's get started. Something I'm so passionate about with IBS is that there is always a root cause to the IBS. So if you're working with a doctor that's telling you, this is something chronic you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life and follow a low FODMAP diet forever, I would definitely fire your doctor and find a specialist that's willing to do breath testing, do some blood work, some stool testing. I even did urine testing, and that was really informative. Make sure that you have a doctor that's going to run those tests. With that being said, if you're really in the introductory phase of your journey, the number one company I want you to start with is something called Trio Smart. Trio Smart is a company that I found through Instagram, and they are amazing. It's actually a breath test that you can do because so frequently people have some sort of SIBO or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and it's a highly comprehensive breath test that you can do from the comfort of your own home, and then you send them the sample. Highly recommend that company. So Trio Smart is that one. Also, before I keep going, I just want to mention all of these companies I have reached out to because they've been so beneficial for me, and they all have offered discount codes. So everything in the notes below will give you the links to each of these companies and then any discount codes so that you can get them for the most affordable price possible. The third company that I want to mention is a company called Modify Health. And I really, really recommend this company if you think that you have IBS, but you're not sure. So most people that follow a low FODMAP diet for 2 weeks, your symptoms typically dissipate and you'll start feeling a lot better. The problem is the low FODMAP diet is highly complex. So I basically could not go out to eat at any point during those 2 weeks because everything's going to have garlic or onion. There might be some sort of gluten in something. And Modify Health is a meal delivery service that brings the meals directly to your home. They're ready to eat. All you have to do is heat them up. So I always suggest to people, if they're like, hey, I don't know if I have IBS, but I have these symptoms, I always say, you know what? Try the low FODMAP diet strictly for 2 weeks through a company like Modify Health. So you don't have to go through the rigmarole of making all your meals and doing everything from scratch. Try it out for 2 weeks. And if it doesn't improve your symptoms, okay, maybe it's not IBS, but Modify Health makes it really easy to follow the low FODMAP diet perfectly. The fourth company that I want to mention is a company called Food Marble. And what this is it's a breath test. It looks kind of like a vape. It's not. Low FODMAP diet has different, don't ask me what they all stand for, FODMAPs. It's a whole bunch of very long words, but basically the F has a certain category of foods. The O has a certain category of foods. And there's certain things, like I know that fructans can really trigger my IBS, whereas something like lactose actually doesn't trigger me that much. And I learned that because of this device. So the way that this device works is you might, when you're following the low FODMAP diet, say, I'm going to eat low FODMAP, but I'm going to add in some lactose and see how I do. This device is very interesting because when you eat something like lactose, you're going to breathe into this before you have the lactose, and you get a baseline for what levels of methane and hydrogen are on your breath. And then you're going to have maybe some milk, and an hour after that, I believe it is, you're going to start using the breath test. And you're going to breathe into this every 15 minutes for an hour or so. It will tell you if you have a sensitivity to that food. So if you're struggling with the low FODMAP diet by adding foods back in, this company is amazing. Number 5 is something that I suggest to anyone who has stress-related IBS. If your IBS is more triggered by stress, I honestly think that this one thing could essentially cure your IBS, and it's a company called Nerva. And what it is it's a 6-week course where you listen to a guided meditation for 15 minutes every single day for 6 weeks. And by the end of the 6 weeks, I want to say 80% or 86% of users have dramatic improvements to their IBS. And some people, their IBS completely goes away. For me, I've loved using the app. I'm on week 2 or 3. You typically see results after week 4. 4 to 6 is really where you see if it's going to work for you. But The guided meditations are phenomenal, and I've seen improvements, and my IBS is more triggered by food. So if you have stress related IBS, I think like this is probably my number one recommendation for you. And I know I said 5 things, but I could talk about this for days. I want to just mention parasite cleansing because that was very beneficial for my overall gut health, my bloating, my skin. My skin has never been so clear by really focusing on all of these things, but parasite cleansing was really helpful for that. And then I also just have to have an honorable mention of something called sun fiber, which again, all of this will be in the notes below. But sun fiber has made my life so much better and the quality of my life better because it's allowed me to have a bowel movement every day. And being able to have a daily bowel movement after having severe constipation or severe diarrhea, it's a prebiotic fiber that helps for people with IBS, where something like Metamucil might trigger IBS for some people and make things worse. It's a low FODMAP fiber, which is so hard to come by if you've had IBS for a long time. I absolutely love this company, so I will link that below. But as always, please just put any questions that you have in the comments. This is like honestly my favorite thing, to just create content and share the information that I've learned, because it's so frustrating and uncomfortable having IBS. It can feel very shameful. And I just tell people, like, look, if I can talk about it online, you can talk about it with your doctor. Send me a DM on any of my social media platforms, and just really comment below what other questions you have so I can create videos specific to your questions. But thank you guys so much for being here. If you can like this video, if it was helpful, if you can subscribe, it would mean the world to me. So hope you all have a beautiful day, and thank you for being here at Gut Instincts.